Our small engine Percy enjoys delivering the mail on the island of Sodor and runs the line very well. He stops through every station, and he pulls the mail with his best friend, Thomas. Thomas and Percy think no other engines work as hard as they do, but they tire less. One night, after a hard day's work, Percy can finally rest. Percy, I'm glad we've been impressed with the mail train this time.
Why, I do thank you, Thomas.
We've been wanting to see what's gonna be on.
Even that! But what I do have here is a different backstory.
Will it be just about the same way as Duke the Lost Engine?
Maybe not. This backstory will focus on something different.
What sort of something different? But it must have a happy ending, we know.
I worked in the Great Western Railway. Once upon a time, many years ago.
As Percy told his story.
I was in a railway contractor.
There were soon hopes into buying a new engine. Well, to just figure and justify this workshop out, that we just needed a new engine to help. What are you doing here? Well, we're finding a new engine to help out in our Great Western line. Oh, a new engine, though. We'll have that perfectly in time now. I just give it stacks of paint. Never mind that. Let's try to go ahead and buy the engine already. That's the good engine. But we should give this engine a name. I named this engine Percy. A great name. Now I must help him to get him to learn how to run the line. The Great Western Railway is home to one of its famous lines. There were passenger trains, and then there were freight trains. Many famous engines take passenger trains during the night and the day. Percy is now great friends with one another, and even met well along the way. Many of their railways go through harbors and mines. The coal mines that ever lead to here. Percy, however, was not a fan of working at the coal mines. His paint gets grimier and dirtier. Percy wished things would be simple for right there. And since then has been betting for a good washdown. You know something there, Percy?
What? There could have been something even simpler than that, Lika. There's something I wanted to do for an interesting change.
I know something for an interesting change. You can take some vans throughout the market. In fact, I'm going to do one next week with him. You'll be able to do that, and I'll hand it over to you.
Oh, thank you. No wonder why that.
There had often been some things understandable that Leek could only understand that. Percy was bumping the truck fiercely.
Ow, ow, ow.
The trucks didn't like it when they were being pushed.
We want a green engine, not some green monster.
I am the only green engine here.
As Percy bumped many of the trucks fiercely, they started to roll forward and derailed to one of the points.
See, Lika, I hate working here at the coal mines.
Maybe you should try to rest your frustrations for a while and do something with me.
Oh, yeah? Well, good. I've been always wanting to do some person a favor like that.
The next day, Market day came, and Percy was to take some trucks that Lika had asked. I did heard that I've been enforced about the, market vans, that they're coming in.
The market vans? They're coming in very fastly? Well, there's gotta be one way that my driver has to ask so.
Lika soon asked her driver, and when he said yes, Percy soon set off. Now remember, Percy, there's one rule you must follow here.
Be careful. Most important rule of that day. Now I must head off to the market and then I won't ever let that railway controller down.
Percy liked quite the run. It was often relaxing for him to enjoy the beautiful sea. Lay ahead. Percy tried to stop in time, but it was too late. Water sloshed into Percy's fire. No one had been hurt. Percy's driver and fireman jumped clear before the crash, but Percy was stranded in water. It wasn't long till a little engine came to the rescue. His name was Andrew Barclays. He was the kindest little engine in the Great Western Line. It wasn't long till Barclays had saved Percy out of the water. Barclays is thought to be really useful, but he said otherwise. Andrew Barclays, what a stupid name for this engine. If we were to give him a new coat of paint, he should have a better name. Barclays was upset. You do have a lot to learn here, little engine. Who might you be?
I'm Percy. That was bought here by the railway contractor.
Interesting. Never thought I'd see you here. But my driver had better think otherwise, that I would have gotten a new name. And a new coat of paint too. But I'll be back then, Percy.
Okay, see you then, Barclays. Whew, it was fun having a new friend. Maybe he liked me.
So enough to make the controller proud. Percy had spent some time doing some shunting. As far as he did so well, Percy really had a lot to learn with shunting. He'd been working well for the freight.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down,
And is often helping out with two good friends, Lika and Andrew Barclays. Barclays also helped with the passenger trains.
and tonight had something.
Lika and Percy also help out with the yard.
My bad habits lead to late nights.
The market loads were needed first, but Lika always asks for another engine to take her work. Every sunset, Percy takes a cruise into the line.
For you, or do my bad habits lead to white eyes in space? And I know I lose control of the things that I say. Yeah, just looking for a way out now. I can't escape. It's true, my bad habits lead to you.
Percy is often cruised for special trains. Force, Percy, Throttleman, and Barclays remained good friends. Check season begin. The railway controller is starting to do things very well.
Boy, money will make me poppin'. Money sweeter than honey. Money, money this, money that. But it'll make me wicked.
Oh, there you are. Sir, we're losing profit in our railway this time. What sort of profit? We are looking out for that one. Really? I signed this for a 20. Why didn't you pay it for just like a 50 or 100? I bet you won't figure this one out. Here. Engine designs are the reason why. Easy enough. We should go back to that contractor that signed Percy up.
Alright, you smugs. I want this railway to be in partially insane order. Don't think about railways going partly insane. Where is he going?
Percy didn't realize he was going back there. He lurked slowly into a siding and had slowly biffed the buffers.
Whew! We have to get away with that check season, dude. We have to.
Barclays arrived, and he had seen everything.
Barclays, whatever you do, don't listen to him. He's greedy.
Who cares what Percy would say? I'm gonna have to go ahead anyway. All of a sudden, Barclays is heading to a state of trouble. As Barclays was. Only a bit. Percy came to Barclays' rescue.
Well, that sure was a lot. You got a lot to learn there, silly little engine.
Then the foreman gave Percy a favor. Can you start to leave with those rescue trucks here?
Okay.
Percy arrived at the coal mines to see 071 and his trucks. And at last the foreman came to inspect. So well then, let's say those trucks are in need of a good push. 071 charged the trucks. Oh no! The trucks rolled away.
Go faster, go faster.
On! The trucks have gone faster than they had or gone. And when they reached the mines, it was too late. Slowly out. There's going to be an avalanche. Slowly landed to one side. As one of the tracks down, there was trouble ahead. Right into the mine shaft. Slammed into a pipe. His wheels were stuck as 071 could not move. You couldn't help tip this anymore. We're gonna blow. Alright, you foreman. I need this in running and partially insane. Hurry up. What do you think I'm paying you for? We need to save one of our engines. Yeah, the wheels are stuck, but hey, we'll try to at least pull them out.
The foreman gone quickly to 071's cab. But at long last enough that 071's tender was filled up, 071 started moving. But he hadn't reached up yet. They still had to move faster enough. No matter how hard they tried, 071 couldn't puff back on. Oh, my fenders and coupling rods, I'll have to stay here. But 071 began to cry.
Blast! It isn't working. What are we gonna do? How about we build up the sleepers? Great idea. Now let's go.
The foreman's idea had worked. 071 was pushed back, and they built sleepers under his wheels so that he can move. 071 struggled and struggled, and at last he reached. Only just he started moving. For being then last, he faced different obstacles, and which had him derailed.
At long last, 071 was finally retrieved. Percy thought the controller wouldn't approve, but the controller was pleased. I'm very proud of this hard work, though. You done very clever, and you saved one of our engines, 071. Well, there's a big of a problem for you. And what's that? You've been greedy all those times with money. And look what it's done to you, like you're after it. And why would you do only one thing? One thing is I'll make this railway even better. Percy had overheard, but he was worried. The controller had decided to give 071 and Percy a reward for their heroic rescue. A few days later, the reward had arrived.
Paint supply was added,
The engines were repainted in basic colors.
and into fashionate Great Western colors. As in then, Percy was then painted with fresh Great Western
A
colors.
few hours after Percy's makeover, he was starting to feel impressed. You look splendid, Percy. No wondering why. Percy had said one thing to both his friends, Andrew Barclays and Mika Frodeman, as he then set off. It was around that very day Leek of Frodeman had decided to start helping out at the farm.
From ever since. Because she had been asking everyone way too much about doing the work and asking the driver way too much. The engines were tired of it, and so they decided to let Lika do her own job for a while. Percy started to wonder.
Wow. Do you have any enough ideas for those grazing cows over there?
Of course I would have then, Percy. Well, I've been asking my driver too much about many of the engines.
Doing my job for me, so they decided to let me help out in that farm.
I've been so far collecting the milk and the livestock, but somehow it's never got to poultry yet. Who knows if I try to find myself then.
Percy was amazed with Leek of Frodeman's work. For now, he'd been wanting to ask his driver if he could take Lika's place, but then said, "No, you got your own job."
Ever since he gave the foreman a favor by going through the mines.
Percy's hopes are somehow far. he had been so far thinking.
Things had soon led to inexperienced contractors. As I would have thought. My engines are running the railway very well. Hopefully they did.
Percy can still spend some time shunting trucks without Barclays or Froneman's help at all. Since Andrew Barclays is doing very well with his passenger work
And lending other engines to take their own trains too. Percy has often wished he was rewarded with a special job for him. It was of course no fun for him working at the coal mines.
And by the very night, Barclays had told Percy all about things that he'd done with many of the other engines, such as 701 and 22.
22 has done a great work with shunting.
I'm sure he did, though. Otherwise, he might have an accident. He may be tired about, the other engine's work.
It was the next day Barclays showed him a turntable.
Why would I go ahead and use a turntable? I'm a tank engine. I don't use turntables, but, anyway, I'll try to do it then.
Percy had to make sure he had to balance first. It was balanced pretty well.
Well, it looks like things really, well, that turntable sure wasn't bad. Hope you try that again.
Nah, thank you. I guess I can handle trains myself.
If your driver can at least tell you that.
As Percy moved from the turntable,
701 came to ask. Well, Percy, I heard that you were doing impressive there, buddy.
Why, I thank you for it.
Anyways, since you still have a lot to learn with them turntables, right? How about you try where I'm at? Percy had to make sure he had to balance the table very well. As so that he did.
So glad that Barclays had told me how to use a turntable and balance it pretty well.
he left, hoping that Barclays would accept what he had learned.
Poor fellow. Hopefully that will go on throughout the next year.
Hard times they're facing.
And during this time, the engines had faced difficulties from during the war.
Percy had never lost. He had friends who shared his life.
There's nothing for the railway controller to handle, as he was doing things right from himself. All he just has to do is just pay with the things. Hey, look. Hey, why'd you come to my office? Is this what the fees you're paying with? This is for one of the Great Western colors. I'm gonna need once fine, and then it's once. If we don't pay with, then we wouldn't even have any railway to run. And hurry up with this budget. What do you think I'm paying it for? Gee, why would you even disrupt me for the bills, though? This had to be for the line. It has to be for many of our engines. Unless they could have given Andrew Barclays a stupid name. One more crack like that and you're out. Take this with you. Fine, I will. Jeez. Now I really have to sell most of my engines. As he soon did.
Barclays, I heard that you were doing great. Keep that up, man.
Thanks, Percy. But there's gotta be a rumor around it.
What rumor?
Huh? They're gonna have to send me away. This isn't why. You still don't look for any engines to sell. Here, this has to be the deal. Well then, what are we going to do with Barclays really then? I don't know, sir. Maybe we'll just have to, send him away. As they were right.
Barclays, we didn't want you to leave. You're just doing great. You're a fine person. Am I right there?
Yes, Percy.
So I'm gonna have to go for a reason.
Percy finally left. In order for him to speak with the controller.
Will you reason to send Barclays sent for scrap?
Scrap Barclays? How could I even do that to your friend?
Oh, thank you, sir.
What's the rumor for back there, Percy?
Go. There is something, though, that the controller wouldn't have scrap Barclays. He would say that he's my friend. But that is a lie.
You know that is a lie?
Yes. I've been trying to expose him for what a greedy controller he was.
But he still hadn't heard you.
Yeah. Then from all that very time that I've been pulling coaches, and then I've been trying to prove that I'm really useful to him, and then I'll try to escape.
Why would you want to escape? We're friends, you know.
Well, saying that I'm going with you to escape with Barclays, and then Barclays would be scrapped. Will he then?
Well, as a lie, he wouldn't, but as the truth, he was going to.
Oh yeah. Did I gonna forget to mention about things?
What things?
Things.
Okay, physics.
Yes. Gonna go find him, and then get him back.
Percy finally came back for Barclays. I got some coaches to take home. Would you like to take them for me?
Oh yes, please.
Percy had never thought of the time of his life.
He'd finally get to hold coaches for one day.
But not long, Barclays had stayed in his shed. Hopefully they'll think about on second thought.
Barclays is thought to be wrong, and was betting that he was.
So he rolled slowly out of the shed, leaving Percy to continue his tour around the countryside.
Trains were starting to get longer as Andrew Barclays arrived.
Percy, I've been expected that you have been going through very long, though.
Whatever will we ever do next?
Come on, let's go take a drive.
Don't you need a cruise?
Don't you Great Western engines ever go out?
Did sunsets, yes.
Barclays has gone out of nowhere.
What will the controller say?
Hey, Percy, you coming or what?
Who cares what the controller says?
And you thought he was gonna rush. Yeah, that idea is literally the worst. Hey, can you believe it? He would actually thought the controller was greedy. He wouldn't even realize a thing by now.
Hey, you got me out here. Where are we going?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, sir.
Barclays to pass around the countryside cactus garden.
This place looks kind of good on me. Wow. What is this place?
Under Andrew Barclay's supervision, Percy had discovered the old station. Even to his surprise, you see, the old mine, from all that stuck, is what he expected.
The bank. That's it. Well, we must be doing a thing by now. Told you to have to send Barclays here to rescue this. I must tell the controller first.
Percy now told 071 about the line.
Well, Barclays had decided to put me to the test, though. Well, anyways, we was gone to the extraordinary adventure we had.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's the thing, though. Anyways, you wouldn't have bet me to fall over a mountain, would I?
No, of course not, Percy. What would have happened?
Something would have happened, like we would fall, that would have fallen over and got over with. Now, if you were to excuse me a bit, like, something, I'll settle around with my own railway, and then I'll get the controller going back.
There's no going back, Percy.
What?
We're facing times.
Well, enjoy facing the times then. Hopefully they get better.
Like I would have. That night, Percy stayed in the shed.
Will there be on second thought?
He would have been wrong in the first place, but at last he could be. It was at this very time things started to go very slow. They were finally selling the engine.
Oh man, we don't even want you to leave though. We just hope that you can come back to our railway one day.
I bet. We had some good times together. And I'm gonna have to miss the rest of it. With times facing downward, there were now fewer trains. I don't know why the passengers are gonna leave with us, though. And leave without us, but hey. If there are more passengers leaving without us, well then, we'll have to close the railway down. We need to do something right in a bit for the contractors to go back.
It's too late to go for that, Barclays. The deeds have been done for. Well, the controller's once again been greedy. Well, anyways, they're gonna have to sell out. I'm gonna have to tell Frodeman all about this.
Percy arrived to see Lika and to find that Lika was leaving with the livestock and the grain trucks.
Well, Percy, things are going very difficult. For our Great Western Farm line, we're gonna have to close that down. Will you take those grain trucks for me?
Okay, if you insist.
Percy had finally beat up the Barclays again.
There's something going on over here.
Well, what? Is it about selling? Well, that controller's greedy. He needed money.
Barclays, have you ever heard they're selling me next week?
Wait, what? You're still getting sold? Wait, what about you,
Anyways, you heard from me, Percy. Since selling 071 is not going to be the term. Never mind that now. We'll see about that.
Well, that's going to be quite a bit of a shame. Now, come on, I must get back.
no fun leaving Barclays here for the king.
Hopefully the sunset run will make me better.
Came back to the yard as Percy arrived.
They're selling me with power, and you're right, Percy. Well, this controller is witless, mindless, brainless, foolish, silly, unintelligent, idiotic, stupid, dumb, and moronic.
Geez, it better off wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, if this wasn't even our way, well, we wouldn't have fought with them.
Well, you know what, Percy? You may be right. You weren't a fan of working at the coal mines. I saw you.
You really did?
Yes, Percy. Just in my own eyes, I did. Well, guess I can't say that. But, there's gonna be some ways around here. 22, you're here with some trucks.
Oh yes, got them back from the coal mines. Did you think?
The coal mines sucked. I wish I would have, do the thing.
Well, never mind that. I can take some of the stuff from here and there. And if I could bypass things, I can do a thing from everywhere.
Just look at me and how I would go.
So you're trying back to be a show-off.
No, not.
Well, if I was to show you, if I was to show off, I would end up like this. Oh, botheration! Jeez, what was that?
See? Selfishness equals no concentrating. Well, lucky for you that the buffers were there.
Well, that's what buffers are for. To stop engines from crashing. We all know that.
Well, enough selling power to get me away from here. Haha. Keep up with the work, 22. Thank you. Anyways, Percy, if I were to tell you for a favor, then I wouldn't have gone for a thing.
Hey, wait in the line. I got a heavy train to pull.
Yeah, if you were to pull your weight, you would have done something for a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Guess I have to go now. If that's another way to pull my weight, I can show 071 that's best while he's already sold.
Now I'll be on my way.
He's sure not going to realize about this safely.
Then it was by that time things were going very wrong.
Dude's going to blame me for a reason that Barclays is just going to pull his weight pretty soon. He's going to realize that he's going to break down or something like that. Because if I wish I was proven wrong...
As the last for the livestock sales came, Lika became very disappointed. She had missed those times, and she had to settle things on her own now.
The biggest invasion yet.
Barclays all of a sudden has pulled his weight. By long last pulling his weight, Barclays had made it. But at last, Barclays was tired out.
Well, Barclays, you had to finally pull on your weight, though. Must have been what had happened.
The train was heavy for me. I'm going to go on a very big overhaul, pretty much soon.
Well, you shouldn't have done a thing like this beforehand. But soon came the alarm. There are several diesel intruders around. We must go ahead and attack immediately.
Can I wait till morning?
Barclays, you heard what I said. We have to attack immediately. We do not rest until they get gone. If you misbehave and argue with me one more time, I'm gonna have to send you for scrap once and for all.
Sorry, sir. Then it happened. 3 diesel engines arrived far and wide.
Sir, you're right.
We must get out of here immediately. I said attack.
Barclays was soon gonna overhear and tell about the news.
In partially insane order, Percy came over to help.
Fenders and funnels. Hopefully those guys don't get hurt.
Oh, Percy, you scared me. Man, jeez.
Yeah, trying to scare you, but hey, we are under attack.
We're under attack? From what?
There's some whatever they're called, are getting into our railway. We better attack now.
Attack? What do you mean attack?
You do what I say.
Fine, Percy.
We must go now.
Ah! Oh no! Percy, can we wait till morning?
No. Controller said what controller said.
You said he's greedy.
Yes, I know he's greedy. Greedy at money. He's just trying to get us to take over the railway. And then he's leading to inexperienced contractors along the way. That's how I've been informed. Well, so will you be. We've been sent here a long time ago. We may not even tell what it is. But we'll sacrifice your will.
No! Percy, do something!
Hold on. Don't go get help.
No, you didn't.
Lika's brakes were soon that strong. Even that strong enough to hold up to the diesel.
Oh, come on, get up already.
Liga, don't! Oh no! Sleeka Frodelman! I can't stop these intruders from getting away from me. So I'll just have to save the world and save the railway. That's the only thing I have to do. I'll never let you go. They'll have you.
But what Percy didn't realize is that Barclays' freight train was waiting here in that siding.
They were lined up, and it was set.
Stop!
Barclays tried to brake, and all of a sudden...
Who's gonna cry about it now? The diesel is right.
No, not Andrew Barclays. Good friends. This had happened to me all alone.
The wreckage was soon clear that Andrew Barclays is taken away to be scrapped. I knew that stupid name for that engine has to go away somehow. Hard times had came.
Dieselization soon happened. But as soon as Barclays is soon scrapped, the diesels began laughing. The steamies are miserably losing all hopes. They will accept their fate. That they ended up in this invasion that we did. We run the railway now. There's no chance the steamies are coming back. I agree. As people came to buy the engines, Lika Frodelman was already sold.
She was upset. She had missed her Great Western days. Worse still, Percy came over for the fete.
Barclays, I'm just gonna tell you that I'm gonna miss you, buddy. You had always known that we were there. We had some good times together. I'm gonna miss the most of it.
Percy had finally said one last goodbye.
We're gonna get through this together. You hear me?
As if things had not lasted very long. As for the now scrapped Andrew Barclay, his days truly meant a lot to him. And then those times had never changed very well. Andrew's face is now painted black and he was ivy green. As Percy started sobbing,
What am I gonna do now that Andrew Barclays is scrapped? That Lika Frodelman has been sold, and many of the Great Western engines have been already sold from dieselization. Now I knew that controller's been retiring all this long. He's been greedy. He's been wanting to make this a better railway.
Things weren't the same since Andrew Barclays was sent for scrap.
But he was just a lonely little boy to me, with his sweet and gentle touch, he sure unlocked my soul. So in return, I surely want to help to set him free. And now I wanna see him fly, fly. I'll be your alibi, my baby. Fly, fly, fly away. We didn't get to say goodbye, goodbye. No need to tell me why, my baby. Maybe it's because you'll fly back home to me one day.
No wonder why this engine from far away looks kind of worried. This is about the line though.
Gave me something real. I've known crueler men with Christian names that taught me manners, but this man without a name taught me how to feel. They only saw the magic tricks, the smoke and mirrors. Was I the only one to ever see the boy? So now they wanna clip his precious wings and bring him down. But in his heart and soul's the kind of good they can't destroy. Yeah, now I wanna see him fly, fly.
I guess I'll have to stay in this workshop here, because this would be far off odd.
We didn't get to say goodbye.
I guess staying the night here in this workshop isn't that very bad, is it?
None of the engines had heard him. Neither one.
One day, baby, when you're in the clouds, please keep a lookout.
It was about that very time the three engines started sulking.
The three boasted. What makes Thomas sleep with this branch line going on? Those events just been chronicled throughout these times.
Yeah, and then he hasn't even returned.
Nothing. Then he's just throwing it away to just someone for us. We tender engines don't shunt.
Yeah. We will stay here until Sir Topham Hatt tells us.
The engines weren't sorry since Thomas went to run his branch line with his two coaches, Annie and Clarabelle.
One day, maybe it's because
The three engines have soon decided.
Wow. If it wasn't for Thomas to leave his branch line with this coach's Annie and Clarabelle, then things would have got more simpler for us.
Yeah. We wouldn't have been left alone for shunting. And like we said, we tender engines don't shunt.
Yeah, strike is gonna happen.
The engines have decided to go on strike.
Sir Topham Hatt sat in his office listening to the noise outside. The passengers are angry. The station master came in. There's trouble in the shed, sir. Henry is sulking. There's no train. The passengers saying this is a bad railway.
Indeed, we cannot allow that.
He found Gordon, James, and Henry looking very cross.
Come along, Henry. It's time your train is ready.
Henry's not going. We won't shunt like common tank engines. That was Thomas's job. We are important tender engines. You fetch our coaches and we will pull them. Tender engines don't shunt.
Oh, indeed. We'll see about that. Engines in my railway do as they are told.
Then he hurried away to find Edward.
The yard has never been the same since Thomas left to run his branch line.
Edward was shunting.
Leave those trucks, please, Edward. I want you to push coaches for me in the yard.
Thank you, sir. That will be a nice change.
That's a good engine. Off you go, then.
So Edward found coaches for the three engines, and that day the trains ran as usual. But next morning, Edward looked unhappy. Gordon clanking past, hissing rudely.
Bless me. Where's noise?
They'll hiss me, sir. They say tender engines don't shunt. Last night they say I have black wheels. I haven't, have I, sir?
No, Edward. You have nice blue ones, and I'm proud of you. Tender engines do shunt, but all the same, we do need another tank engine here.
He went to a workshop and they showed him all sorts of engines. At last, he saw a smart little green engine with 4 wheels.
That's the one. If I choose you, will you work hard?
Oh, sir, yes, sir.
That's a good engine. I'll call you Percy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And Sir Topham Hatt brought him back to the yard.
Edward, here's Percy. Will you show him everything?
Percy soon learned what he had to do, and they had a happy afternoon. Then Henry came by, hissing as usual.
Whee!
Henry jumped and ran back to the shed. How beautifully you wheeshed him. I can't wheesh like that.
Oh, there's nothing you should hear them in the workshop. You would wish while you make yourself heard.
Next morning, Thomas arrived. Sir Topham Hatt sent me. I expect he wants help.
Well done, Thomas. You and quick listen, Henry and James and Gordon are sulking. They won't shunt like common tank engines, so I shut them up and I want you both to run for a while.
Common tank engines indeed. We'll show them.
And Percy, what you up to?
Oh, sir, yes, sir. Please, sir.
Edward and Thomas worked the main line, greeting each other as they passed by. Percy puffed along the branch line.
Thomas is anxious about Annie and Clarabelle, but both driver and fireman promise to take care of them. There were fewer trains, but the passengers didn't mind. They knew that the 3 other engines were having a lesson.
As for Leak of Frodeman, he had now set up working at the farm.
And to this very day, if it wasn't for the engine's help, Percy would have never...
That was soon of all quite the story we had.
Percy was well appreciated for his own backstory. His backstory was that Mickey had started to fall asleep. I guess she was a bit tired after hearing all that backstory. I guess we were too. So the engines all fell asleep at once. It was shown that Percy was one of the better storytellers yet on the island of Sodor.
Well, you almost had me fooled. Told me that I was nothing without you. Oh, but after everything you've done, I can thank you for how strong I have become. 'Cause you brought the flames and you put me through hell. I had to learn how to fight for myself, and we both know all the truth I could tell. I'll just say this as I wish you farewell. I hope you're somewhere praying, praying. I hope your soul is changing, changing. I hope you find your peace, falling on your knees, praying. I'm proud of who I am. No more monsters, I can breathe again. And you said that I was done. Well, you were wrong, and now the best is yet to come. 'Cause I can make it on my own. I don't need you. I found a strength I've never known. I'll bring thunder, I'll bring burn. When I'm finished, they won't even know your name. You brought the flames and you put me through hell. I had to learn how to fight.